A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a landmark decision on Tuesday, the Supreme Court has granted the Trump administration the authority to resume mass layoffs of federal employees, effectively overturning a lower court's injunction that had blocked these actions. The ruling, which came down with a 7-2 vote, allows the government to move forward with plans to significantly reduce the workforce across various federal agencies. A move that has sparked intense debate and concern among labor unions and public service advocates. The case revolved around a controversial executive order issued by President Trump in February, which outlined a broad strategy for reorganizing federal agencies and reducing staff levels. The order had been met with legal challenges, prompting U.S. District Judge Susan Ilston to issue a preliminary injunction in May that halted the layoffs while the case was being litigated. However, the Supreme Court's decision now clears the way for the administration to implement its plans, which are seen by many as an attempt to streamline government operations and cut costs. Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who joined the majority opinion, noted that while the president does not have the authority to restructure federal agencies contrary to congressional mandates, the executive order itself falls within the president's powers as it directs agencies to plan reorganizations in accordance with applicable law. In her concurrence, Sotomayor emphasized that the legality of specific implementation plans was not directly before the court, thus allowing the executive order to stand for now. Conversely, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, who dissented, expressed strong concerns about the implications of this ruling, arguing that it undermines the checks and balances established by Congress. She criticized the majority for favoring the administration's position without fully considering the potential consequences of these layoffs on federal services and employees. The Trump administration has long sought to reduce the size of the federal workforce, arguing that it would lead to greater efficiency and less government spending. This ruling is seen as a significant victory for the administration, which has faced numerous legal hurdles in its efforts to reshape the federal landscape. Attorney General Pam Bondi hailed the decision as a triumph for the administration's authority, stating that it prevents lower courts from overstepping their bounds and restricting the president's power over federal personnel. Critics, however, warn that these mass layoffs could have detrimental effects on public services and the overall functioning of government agencies. Unions representing federal workers have voiced their outrage at the Supreme Court's ruling, arguing that it disregards the rights and livelihoods of thousands of employees. They contend that the layoffs could lead to a reduction in essential services that the public relies on daily. As the Trump administration prepares to move forward with its plans, the implications of this ruling will likely be felt across the federal workforce and beyond. The decision raises important questions about the balance of power between the executive branch and Congress, as well as the future of federal employment in an era of significant political and economic change. With the administration's plans now back on the table, the coming weeks and months will be critical in determining how these changes unfold and what they mean for the future of government operations in the United States. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.